Hello, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to our presentation, The Bee's Knees: Successful Nonprofit Collaboration for Preservation and Sustainability. My name is Chelsea Tharp. I'm the Associate Director of Sales at BioOne, and today I'm joined by Matt Hudson, the Director of Publications, Communications, and Marketing at the Entomological Society of America, and Robin N. Sin, the Director of Collections and Open Strategies at the Iowa State University Library. Today, we will share the story of how several nonprofit organizations applied their complementary missions, motivations, and areas of expertise to a project which benefited each of our respective constituencies and resulted in the creation of the ESA ebook collection. First, a bit of background about BioOne. We are a nonprofit collaborative founded in 1999 by both librarians and society publishers for the purpose of supporting sustainable scholarly communications and making research more accessible. Over the years, our community has grown to include more than 150 publishers and 3,500 libraries. And with our flagship journal collection, BioOne Complete, we are the leading content aggregator in the biological, ecological, and environmental sciences. BioOne is proud to have reinvested over $68 million into our nonprofit publishing partners over the years, helping to keep them independent and sustainable. As an aggregator, everything we do is for the benefit of all our partners, and so collaboration is in BioOne's DNA. With that, let me turn it over to Matt to tell you more about the Entomological Society of America.
Thanks, Chelsea. Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Hudson, as Chelsea said, from the Entomological Society of America. We are a small nonprofit organization with about 18 staff. We were established in the late 1800s, and today we have about 7,000 members. In addition to the publications, which we'll obviously talk about here in a minute, we also host meetings. We advocate for entomology on Capitol Hill, offer certification programs, and much more. Now I'd like to introduce Robin N. Sin, one of the librarians involved in the project.
Hi, I'm Robin, Director of Collections and Open Strategies at University Library of Iowa State University of Science and Technology. We're located in the middle of Iowa in Ames. ISU was founded in 1858 as a public land-grant university. We're also an R1 university, known primarily for our veterinary medicine, agricultural, and engineering programs. Now on to our story.
All right, let's talk about the origins of this project. So ESA is primarily a journal publisher with 7 peer-reviewed journals, a member magazine, and 1 editor-reviewed technical reference. We work with Oxford University Press to publish our journals, and they're hosted with both OUP and BioOne. As such, we have a pretty small publication staff, just about 2.5 FTEs. Books are an important part of what we do, but they sometimes get lost kind of in the monthly grind of our journals. We began publishing them back in 1916. By the time I arrived at ESA in 2020, the Society did not have a full list of the back catalog, let alone a complete print archive. None of the books had ever been digitized or was available online in any format. And in some cases, there's barely even a record that the books existed beyond OCLC or the occasional ad in a rare book dealer. The good news was our customers were still aware of them. Occasionally, I would receive an email from someone pleading for access to an archival title. For example, the CDC was interested in a book on ticks that we had published in the 1970s. Nothing with that level of species description or morphology had been completed since. And in the meantime, ticks had become a major threat with issues like Lyme disease and Powassan virus. Another example was a manual for determining small dosage calculations for pesticides. It had first come out in 1976, and now there were farmers and pest control professionals that still wanted one. Another interesting thing I learned about insects is that they are quick to adapt. The means we have of controlling them today will likely not work tomorrow. But the interesting thing is that sometimes those methods will begin working again as insects once again adapt to more modern means of control. This is another reason, one of many, that this historical research remained valuable. From the beginning, I wanted to find a way to make these books available online. I knew a lot of effort went into the research and publication of them. And in today's world, if something is not discoverable online, it pretty much doesn't exist. I find it really personally satisfying to make this kind of older archival content available online and to see it get rediscovered by a whole new generation of scientists. Now that I knew how important this research was, it became even more of a priority for me. Over intermittent visits to the office, I learned that only about 30 of ESA's 160 plus titles were still available in print inventory for sale. We had archival copies of another 40 or so, which meant that we did not have any print copies at all of about 90 books. This meant I had two obvious problems. Would I be able to locate scannable print versions of the books? And if I did, how would I find a way to digitize them and get them hosted online? Confident, or perhaps naively optimistic about the prospect of finding print versions of the books, I began by reaching out to BioOne to discuss hosting. I'm a firm believer in the value of nonprofit scientific organizations and their role in supporting scientists and scientific research. If we're going to go through the effort of digitizing all of this content and making it available online, I wanted to do it with a partner that shared ESA's priorities and would host the content alongside similar subject matter. BioOne, a fellow nonprofit organization and longtime partner of ours, seemed like the perfect match.
So when Matt spoke about the issue with BioOne's CEO Lauren Kane, it sparked the idea to partner up on a mutually beneficial solution in the form of an ebook collection. While BioOne had at the time had our aggregation of 218 journals from 156 different publishers as our only product, we were very open to the idea of expanding our offerings beyond the standard aggregator model. ESA had worked with us for many years with 5 of its journal publications disseminated through our aggregation, which was what prompted the idea to communicate about expanding the partnership in a brand new way. ESA holds the rights to the 160 plus books needed for the online collection, and BioOne holds expertise in sales distribution and library partnerships. This was also an opportunity to expand on our partnership with another fellow nonprofit publisher, SPIE, who has hosted the BioOne Digital Library as our platform provider since 2019. They would soon step in to deliver the content onto our platform once the digitization process was underway. There were both strategic and mission-aligned motivations for everyone involved in the project. Most importantly, we would fulfill our mission by helping solve a problem for our publishing partner. And we would also add a meaningful benefit to the scientists and readership within our community, all through a library-friendly model of dissemination. We also understood the library market is in a state of flux right now, and diversifying our product offerings would help us adapt and compete with commercial publishers amidst such a changing landscape. Also, after working with a multi-publisher product for so long, we needed to craft a new one-to-one revenue model and business agreement that was sensible and equitable. Finally, this would be our first entry into the ebook market, so we leaned on our sales partners and consortial relationships for insights on how to price and introduce the new collection to our community. Once we put together a market analysis and submitted a proposal to Matt and the ESA team, everyone began work on sourcing the remaining books.
And it turns out it was pretty hard to locate copies of those books. There were many people that had them, but knowing their rarity, not many people wanted to give them up. I began my search by posting requests in our bi-monthly member e-newsletter. That turned up a few scattered titles, but the bulk of the archive was still missing. From there, I began emailing librarians that I knew and posting announcements on industry listservs. Those efforts eventually led me to, and the BioOne team, to the University of Idaho's William F. Barr Entomological Museum, Iowa State University, and UC Berkeley. Together, these 3 institutions had all of the missing titles and graciously offered to allow us to scan them for the project.
So ISU showed up in this story when Matt reached out to our entomology librarian in October of 22. She passed the request for the digitization of the books on to me as head of collections. Since I'd been at ISU library for just over a year, I learned about the importance of ESA to our research and teaching at ISU while I was investigating this request. I also learned we even have an insect zoo here. Thus, this work checked the box of aligning with our research and our teaching. There's been much more discussion in the past few years between librarians and publishers about prioritizing work with mission and values-aligned groups. Working with academic and society nonprofit organizations definitely aligns with the missions of ISU and the university library. The ISU mission states that, quote, ISU will create, share, and apply knowledge to make our students, Iowa, and the world better, end quote. The university library mission includes this statement: to advance a more just and inclusive society, we, the library, will collaborate in the development and preservation of knowledge. So ESA, BioOne, the other libraries, the other platform providers and digitizers, we all share that mission to make research affordable and accessible. So another of our boxes was checked. Heck, they even paid to ship our books back and forth. So it was very easy to say, yes, we'll loan our books to you for digitization purposes and to make this collection available more widely. Everything worked very smoothly on our end. Items were identified and pulled. An agreement describing everyone's responsibilities was signed. Books were shipped and then returned. Now they're back on our shelves. Our part of this project really only took 11 months.
And as the sourcing of the books was finalized, BioOne worked with one partner for the digitization process, and then we worked together with our platform partner, SPIE, to build out the capability to host ebooks to the robust standard demanded by the library market on our own platform. Overall, there were a multitude of skill sets required to accomplish this project. BioOne, for example, is a nimble team of only 8 of us, and as small organizations, there's no way to have expertise in all areas required to launch new products and services. This is why partnership is imperative to fill in those gaps and make a strong impact. The spirit of collaboration was woven throughout this new collection. ESA brought the intellectual property and knowledge of the entomology community. BioOne and SPIE contributed platform and technical expertise, along with our market knowledge and library partnerships. The library shared interest in preservation and sourced the actual artifacts needed to bring the collection to life. Now it was June 30th, 2023, and after several months of collaboration on behalf of all parties, the ESA ebook collection was formally launched through the BioOne Digital Library. We did a lot of outreach to the library community, including to our many consortia partners. And now in the 4 months since launch, libraries have strongly embraced the new collection, and we achieved our 1-year target by September, which demonstrated that this ESA content was indeed valued by libraries and their researchers, and that we had matched the product offering to our library's needs. Most importantly, we each met our mission in the following ways: by increasing access to scientific research through digitization and a library-friendly model, by supporting sustainable scholarly communications through product diversification, by allowing relevant archival content to be rediscovered by a whole new generation of scientists, and by collaborating in the development and preservation of knowledge. So we'll just leave you with a few key takeaways from our project working together. From the perspective of BioOne, I would say use collaboration to offset risk. As a smaller organization, it's imperative to work with other like-minded groups amid such a competitive landscape. Collaboration, in this case, allowed us to utilize each partner's individual strengths to increase the likelihood of project success for everyone involved.
For libraries, I will kind of echo what Chelsea just said. We need to choose our partners with our mission and our values in mind. ESA, BioOne, the other libraries, all shared our vision and our mission and our values. And we wanted to participate together to create a service, a product that would help with greater good of all communities in the scholarly publishing ecosystem.
And for ESA and for me, I think one of the key takeaways was don't assume something is impossible due to your limited size and resources. This project's shown that by combining complementary areas of expertise, smaller nonprofits can join forces to achieve positive outcomes. One of the great things about this was that none of us could have accomplished this on our own. We all had to work together, and it's through that collaboration that we were able to achieve this and put together this great collection.
So thank you to everyone that joined us today. We've included a link to the final collection in case you would like to take a look at it. Please don't hesitate to contact any of us with additional questions about the project. And we'd now like to open up the floor for questions. Thank you.